No, bro, over here. Not that, dude. I know there's a lot of benches around here. A lot of sexy, fine, keyword, fine benches. Looking good. But we're talking about this bench today. We're talking about something not a lot of channels talk about, especially in the fitness community. I'm gonna throw around that phrase, body positivity. I wanna talk about body composition as it relates to the fitness community as a whole, how there's a negative stereotype associated with having a little bit more body fat, AKA being a little thick, AKA being a peach boy, as opposed to being shredded, and how I think this is potentially dangerous. It plays into the already narcissistic nature of fitness as a whole, but also all the insecurities that usually come into play with those that want to transform their body. And ultimately, if the goal is for us to be better, stronger people, and I don't just mean physically strong, I mean mentally stronger, it really distracts from that. Anyways, before I talk about that, Alex, can I do the bench review? I want to talk about this one. Okay, so this bench right here, while we chose it, there are a few holes here. Maybe someone did something to this. There's also some white marks, maybe some stains. There's some rust, character. It kind of smells like, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with this one?
Ready.
Okay, yeah, no. Oh, right, again. Yeah, anyways, this bench, it's kind of like that bench you knew back in high school and then you come back to it a few years later and it just changed completely. So I would give it a 7 back then, a 6.5 right now. Keep trying, keep doing your thing. Eventually you'll discover your own identity. Anyways, back to the topic of today's video, body positivity. Let me talk about this for a little bit. This is a topic, once again, that I quite frankly think, because guys, we have big egos, they get in the way. People are scared to open up about this, but I can tell you, hey, from being in the industry, from seeing so many people transform their bodies, message me privately how big of an issue this is, how we look, how we feel about ourselves. Normally, people only talk about this as it relates to women. Women definitely, when it comes to aesthetics, how they're viewed, they do have a lot more pressure on them, but that doesn't mean that guys, we as guys, don't have a similar pressure, and how sometimes it makes people not only uncomfortable, it could form poor eating habits, poor self-perception of how they look, how they perceive themselves. I received, since I started that Peach Boys movement, that shirt, which is all about humorously poking fun at the notion that, once again, we as strength athletes, those that want to get stronger, you know what, we might not be 8%. Abercrombie and Fitch, more like Abercrombie and bitch. We're not going to fit into that image of just being like, 5% body fat and playing beach volleyball all day. That's not us, okay? I want to squat a lot, I want to deadlift a lot, okay? My butt might be a little bit more luscious than normal, and that's okay. That's a peach boy. And so we made that, but I've received a lot of private messages of people saying, you know what, like, man, when I first started trying to get stronger, I first started bulking, they're in a perpetual cycle of trying to look beach ready, essentially, and how they have now a far healthier mindset as it relates to their own body, their perception of their body, how they feel about themselves, body positivity, feeling better, quite frankly, for lack of a better phrase, about their body, how they move. And that is a great thing until strength came about, until they could frame their goals, until they were able to accept themselves for who they are. And keep in mind, some people are going to be like, and I can already hear the bros, they're probably 15, saying, oh, bro, what are you talking about? You don't want to get shredded? You want to get shredded? You want to be lean? Like, what is this? You're just giving up? No, man. It's saying, look, there are multiple goals you can have. There are multiple paths you might choose. Being shredded 6% year round, or that stigma that you need to be in order to be fitness, is bullshit. That's what I'm saying. And really, I shared this story, but you'd be surprised how many bodybuilders this exists for, or how many people that lift, when it comes to males, that they're insecure. If you told the average bro right now, yo dog, just like take off your shirt, whatever, in public, if you're so proud of your physique or whatever, just show it off. How many people would be uncomfortable taking off their shirt if they weren't prepared, if they didn't, diet the day before, dehydrate a little bit, get the right posing, the right angle, this Instagramification when it comes to fitness, how insecure they would be about their body, because they'll hear the comments and people can be harsh. Oh, you don't look good, you don't look this, blah, 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 blah. I remember this once again, and I'll share this story briefly. When we were filming a skit for Brady Broseph years ago, what ended up happening, we needed a few individuals that were bodybuilders for a particular scene to look menacing. We contacted this bodybuilder who was in quite good shape. Honestly, he was in way better shape than all of us. We contacted him several months prior to the shoot. He agreed. Then on the day, They're on to us, bro. They're trying to assassinate us. We messaged him. We gave him several months advance notice to say, on this day, we'll need you. He was like, cool, I'll roll up. Then the day comes and he shows up, except he's mortified. He is positively scared to take off his shirt. He doesn't feel good about the way he looks. And I understood what he was saying. Thing is, he was already quite lean, quite huge. I'm talking, he's bigger than anyone else that was at the gym, leaner than anyone else that was at the gym, but he refused to take his shirt off because he felt so bad about himself. And this is something that, quite frankly, until that moment arrived, he wouldn't have been comfortable talking about. It basically forced him to address that issue. But how many more people have that, body self-image issue as it relates to males? Same idea when it comes to eating. I do think absolutely that flexible dieting has been huge in terms of opening up the restrictions, the needless restrictions, because sometimes there is this masochism that is associated with fitness, where people like to put themselves through pain, that sometimes you need to open up those restrictions. So flexible dieting has been a good thing, understanding that macros at the end of the day are far more important. But then some people, once again, take it too far. How many donuts can they fit into their macronutrients? And so when we talk about eating disorders, how people feel about their body, when it comes to guys, no one's talking about it, okay? Because everyone's assuming, you know what, bro, you just want to be shredded year round. Of course, why not? It's gonna look good, like girls are gonna love you. Check this out, man. There is more to life than how other people perceive you. What about what you want? Okay, what about your goals? What do you want when it comes to the gym? What do you want to look like? I categorically reject that notion that there is one ideal physique. We only need to look at two things. One, beauty standards across the ages, and then two, what people have found aesthetic across the ages, to see that our perception of what it means to be aesthetic has changed. We go to the Greek sculptures that look more like Eugene Sandow. Then we look over the last 45 years, 50 years of bodybuilding, when we had access to far more images due to just media and now social media. And you'll see there was that golden age of bodybuilding where they're a little bit bigger. Now we see that X-frame where a lot of people find that to be the most aesthetic. And now there is kind of, in ways, again, influenced by social media, that return to more classical style physique, maybe more that golden age. The point being, we can't agree on that one ideal physique. So why should there be this pressure towards an ideal body fat percentage for guys out there? And so I reject that. I reject that idea. I'm not saying not to be healthy. I don't think if you're 15% body fat that you're unhealthy, as long as you're exercising, you're making healthy food choices. I think when we talk about the quality of life, when we talk about a pure health standpoint, and keep in mind, fitness should be about trying to enhance your health, not detract from it, not give you a neurosis where you're just all wrapped up in your head about, look, I gotta count this, I gotta do this, I ate a little too much this day. It's about trying to improve the quality of the life. You can't say that someone that 6% body fat is gonna live longer than someone that's 11% body fat or 12% body fat. There's really no difference. And we can even extend that further, right, to those that might be 15, 16, that have a natural propensity to hold on to a little bit more body fat. And so I do think we need to talk about this more as a community. I was joking, but I'm also serious when I talk about the whole Peach Boys thing. I talk about the lean bulk. I talk about giving a realistic look. That's why I try not to doctor. I don't Photoshop any of my images. But even when it comes to lighting, we can manipulate a lot of different things. Quite frankly, it's not sexy to give a realistic look, but it's a voice that is necessary in the community because we need to recognize this problem. It's kind of like, and this is a whole other issue, but we're not going to talk about it, quite frankly, in this video today, but how in bodybuilding, the use of flex shows is rather ubiquitous within the community as a means to raise money for steroids, and that's a whole other peg that I don't want to talk about. But talking about this, something that is near and dear to me from seeing so many people go through this, so many people have body image issues, how they feel about themselves, and really at the end of the day, how you should be focusing on yourself, learning to accept where you are, and then also taking a good, hard look at what your goals are, what you can do to achieve it, and not being so hard for some of those bros out there that are in this perpetual cycle of being either skinny fat or not being comfortable with the way they look. That, bro, it's gonna be all good, man. Just take it one step at a time, enjoy this process, understand it is a journey. No one achieves the physique that they want within 1 year, 2 years. I see all the time people giving numerous examples of, well, what about this fitness guy when I talked about strength over abs? And I said, you know, if you want to get stronger, you probably have to be a higher body fat percentage than those that want to be super aesthetic. And people say, well, what about this example? I'm like, man, you're trying to use the 0.1 of the 0.1 of the 0.1 percentage of the population, especially some of those people that individuals listed that are enhanced as an example. It doesn't work that way. And we look at the population distribution, most people are a higher body fat percentage, slightly higher than, once again, what we're talking about, that ideal aesthetic amount. So, listen to me, bro. If this has resonated with you, if you feel this, leave me a comment in the comment section below about your own journey, your journey into lifting, how you feel about the whole damn thing. Because again, I think as guys, our egos get in the way. We think, oh, no, this isn't manly, bro. It's not alpha. We can't talk about it. You know what's not alpha? Pretending to be something that you're not. Just trying to honestly live a vacuous dream that's not really yours. It's like, oh, I got to get down to 6% body fat. Maybe for you, being a higher body fat percentage, a higher quality of life, living longer, and worrying less about these things is better off for you. Anyways, that's all I really want to say in this video today. I do think for myself as a personal, let's say, goal, I think it'd be cool one day, maybe in 2018 at some point, to try and get below that 10%, just as a challenge, get to 8% body fat. But I'm going to take my time. I'm going to enjoy the process, the journey, and again, have that realistic, holistic outlook when it comes to fitness. Fitness should be about enhancing your health, not detracting from it. That's all I had to say in this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for enjoying this luscious scenic view. If you like this video, make sure to like the damn video. Give it 4,000 likes if you want to see another bench talking video. And also comment below what you want to see me talk about next. It could be a topic not strictly fitness related. And I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace.
Eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your fucking vegetables.